Yo, Mexican casserole, let's get it. So first thing you're gonna wanna do is make Mexican rice. That's gonna be the base of the casserole. To do this, you're gonna need 4 cloves of garlic. Go ahead and chop them bad boys up just like that. Next, you're gonna need white onion. You're gonna need half of the white onion. You're gonna wanna go ahead and dice it up. Now, I will not lie, this onion was tearing me up, son. My eyes were burning. I was hurting. I was in pain. I've heard that slicing onions only hurts people without souls. I don't have a soul, so makes sense. You're going to want to go ahead and throw in 2 cups of long grain rice into an oiled pan and let it toast up. Go ahead and add those onions and add those garlics. You're going to want to go ahead then get 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. These are pretty hefty scoops, but I love tomato paste. You're going to want to go ahead and toast that and bad boys up. Get it mixed up. You should see red all throughout. We're going to go ahead and use chicken stock. You can totally use tomato chicken bouillon and add water, but we're going to go ahead and do the chicken stock. So 1 cup of chicken stock per cup of rice. Like I said, 2 cups of rice, 2 cups of chicken stock. Go ahead and mix that up all together. Make sure everything is wet like your grandma. Throw the lid on and don't touch it. Okay, do not touch it. Once it's over and once it's cooked, you should have something like this. Your onion should be translucent and it should smell like heaven in a dish. The next thing you're gonna do is, what did I say? Cut off a poblano pepper's head. Go ahead and remove the brain. Poblano peppers are pretty sweet. This one wasn't as spicy as some other ones I've had, but you're gonna want to cut that off. It's kind of like a bell pepper. Take the brain out. Go ahead and cut the veins out. They have a watermelon rind consistency. They're not very flavorful, so cut them out. We're gonna be dicing these bad boys up, so go ahead and cut them into strips and get that dice going. You can use bigger chunks, you can use smaller chunks. I went for the medium chunks because I am conservative. All right, after we do that, we're gonna also do a red bell pepper. We're gonna prep it the same exact way. Go ahead, mad scientist, chop the head off, cut the brain out, mad surgeon style, and we're gonna go ahead and dice that up. Try not to make a mess like me because I suck. We're using beef chorizo. You can use pork, but I prefer beef. Go ahead and cut it open, and guys, listen to this, okay?
It looks and sounds like poopy.
Yeah, you can't tell me it doesn't sound like poopy. Just a little bit also kind of looks like poopy, but don't be fooled. This stuff is banging. It is so amazing. So you're going to want to cook this on medium-high heat. Once it starts to boil or bubble, once it starts to bubble up, go ahead and throw in those diced peppers. This is going to let that absorb the flavor of the chorizo, let it all cook together. It's going to taste amazing. Now, to tell when the chorizo's done, you should have more beef than you do grease. The grease should be, brown, or the beef should be browned up and the grease should be pretty much gone. Now, you can strain this if you like. I didn't strain this. I probably should have because this stuff is unhealthy, but oh well. So here we have some freshly shredded Monterey Jack. We're using Monterey Jack and mild cheddar. Guys, freshly shred the cheese because the pre-shredded stuff at the store has a coating. It doesn't melt down as well. I mean, these cheeses right here are perfect for dips, quesos, casseroles. I mean, they melt together so well. Just look at this. It's like snow. You see the grease on my fingers? They're already, it's melting in my hand. This is the perfect stuff to use. Monterey Jack and mild cheddar. You can use other cheeses, but that's what I decided to go with. So you're going to want to go ahead and throw those rices down. Strain some black beans. Make sure they're strained. You don't want extra juice in there. You don't want your rice to be extra moist. You don't want an overbearing black bean flavor. I did go ahead and throw in 4 ounces of cream cheese. I probably should have used 8, but I was being, again, on the conservative side. I wasn't sure. I'm winging this recipe from scratch. I got no idea what I'm doing. All right, so we're throwing in the cheeses right here. You just want to give it a nice layer. You want to make sure you don't see any rice or beans, and a nice even coat. We're going to go ahead then and throw in the chorizo. Look at that. That looks amazing. Just same thing. Even it out. Give it a nice layer. You know what I'm saying? Give it some love, like you should be giving your cousins and your families and your friends. Make sure you love one another and treat one another well. That looks very good. I cannot wait for this to treat my GI tract well, because this stuff was delicious. All right, after you mix it all down, you know, give it a nice little layer, little flatten it out, you know, give it a nice little steam roll. You want to go ahead and add the rest of the cheese onto the top. I did have to end up shredding a little bit more, guys. I used 2 pounds, a little under 2 pounds, honestly, 1.5 pounds. Okay, 1.5 pounds of cheese here between the Monterey Jack and the chicken. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so right here, this is where we're gonna go ahead and put it in the oven at 350 for 40 minutes. That did it for me. You can see the edges here are a little bit brown. You know, there is kind of a crust there, but since the edges were getting brown like that, and to be honest, they were a little hot or a little hard and kind of like not burnt, but they were browned up. So I didn't want to leave it in there any longer. I'm checking it here. It's fresh out the oven. Just checking it to make sure that everything looks good, and it does. So you want to let it stand for about 10 minutes, let it cool off. You want to add on some sour cream onto the top. This is like icing. It's not icing, but you want to ice it. Sour cream, you know what I'm saying? Do it like you're icing a cake. Give it a nice little layer on the top, and it's ready to go. You can see I'm pulling a piece out right here. Lots of fat. Honestly, should have drained the chorizo, guys. I personally didn't care. I thought it was delicious. I like a little bit of fat in my chorizo dip. And look at this, guys. Right here, slow-mo, just pulling the cheese out. And that's it. Dig in and enjoy. Guys, like, comment, subscribe. If you're coming here from TikTok, thank you so much for viewing. Make sure you like, make sure you love one another, and please join me back on the next one. I'm Matty Ice. I'll see you soon.